Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Circle of Love and Light. I'm here, Jane Mountrose, with my partner and founding director of Awakenings Institute, Phillip Mountrose. And today our topic is opening to the truth and wisdom in the heart, which is it's a primary one for us. And I think it's more important than most people realize. And we bring decades of experience to it. We've been actually focusing on that in all of our programs and courses for almost 30 years now. So please stay with us for some valuable insights and ideas, plus an enlightening heart focus, we call it, process. It's a guided visualization for bringing more truth and wisdom to you from what's occurring in your heart. And that's a primary thing, because a lot of times we're not listening to our hearts. So this is an opportunity for that. And of course, as always, in the end, we'll be sending our collective love and light out to the world. So we're here live on Facebook and on YouTube now, where you can find us each Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. You can also watch the video of the circle anytime after that on YouTube or on Facebook at facebook.com/awakenings circle. So before we begin, I want to thank you for joining us, because the circle provides an opportunity for yourself personally and for the world. You can light up your life, you can heal, grow, and also stand as a beacon for love. And that in itself, just being the love, is a primary thing, really. So I also want to remind you, if you're on Facebook with us, you can say hi and tell us where you're from, add any comments. We really want to hear from you. This is also Buddy, who likes to join us. And one more thing I want to do before we go into the topic is just bring our energy together a little bit. Just focus on your breath for a moment. It's so interesting how taking a few nice nurturing breaths can change your day, actually. We stop and do this occasionally during the day, just to come back to be more present in our bodies in the moment. And we appreciate having you here too. So we want to all be together in that way. So now I want to turn to you, Phillip, and thank you for being here, and ask you to start us off by sharing some insights on why the wisdom in the heart is so important to each of us personally and for the whole world. That's a little question.
Yes, a little question. I think I'm going to start with an exercise, and then I think that might be a more experiential way for people to get into the topic even more. It's a word exercise, but the words can open the heart. So I'm just going to say a few words and people can respond to them. Open heart, heart to heart, a loving heart, heartfelt, my heart of hearts, my heart is in it. What was that like for you, Jane?
Well, it feels good. Obviously, I'm a person who's heart focused and heart centered, and it is, the heart is enlivening. It's interesting. The heart area energetically is the source of our aliveness. The thymus gland, which is right in here, and you can even feel it and tap on it for a little energy. It really is all about how much life force we have running through us. So it's directly connected with the feelings that we have in our heart and following our heart. I think a lot of times we talk about following our heart and really don't consider how profound that idea is. If we're saying we feel like we need to follow our hearts, there must be an intelligence there.
Heart intelligence.
We don't know. We don't consciously kind of integrate that in our awareness, but it is something that I think most people sense. Buddy says, I love that.
We all have
I do want to welcome Barbara Clark is here with us again.
Our colleague.
Absent. So grateful that you're here.
Yeah, Barbara, if
And
you have any thoughts on those words, just put them in the dialogue box there.
yeah, be happy to hear from you, of course.
So going on to just some information or some thoughts about the heart. The heart is interesting because it's both physical, an organ, and sort of a spiritual opening, intuitive feeling center as well. So the two get connected, sometimes mixed up, but the two things are sort of going on simultaneously. So the heart just physiologically has a nervous center. Scientists have discovered it's always there. 40,000 neurons are in the heart, so it's communicating with your whole body, especially your brain. It's electromagnetically more powerful, much more powerful, more energy coming out of the heart than the brain. So it's all these rhythms are going on continuously, and when they're aligned, it's called in heart math, the science of the heart, coherence. And it calms the nervous system, and you help to manage your emotions that way. And you, when you do that, you're more open and receptive. And just meditating on it today, the message I got is by going deeper into the heart, we recognized our unique existence and experience.
Mm.
Also, as a node to oneness, connecting with everything and everyone, unity in diversity. So it's interesting. We get a sense of our own purpose, our own uniqueness from our heart, and also that we are connected with everything and everyone.
Right. Yeah. And Bab said, paying attention to the heart via those words is calming and joyful. And to me, I think one of the most amazing things is from all of the work we've done with many, countless people almost, and ourselves, some people refer to the heart as a spiritual bridge. And that is really the way I see it. If you look at the energy system, for those who have that perspective, the lower energy centers, chakras, are about our lower existence. And the higher ones above the heart actually are our higher awareness. And the heart is in between. It's the thing that connects us with those higher vibrations and higher frequencies and higher abilities to understand life in a spiritual way. It also, the heart, in the spiritual traditions of India, it's seen as the seat of the soul, supreme consciousness. There are just many terms about the heart that are very commonly out there. And even with a full, well, we have 30 years of understanding it, I still feel that it has such an infinite ability to change our lives that it's hard to even fathom it. Because within that also, our sense of self is in there. You know, when we feel tender and vulnerable, we feel it in our hearts. But the truth of who we are is also in our hearts. The truth of who we are as each of us wonderful, you could even say magnificent beings who are here with a purpose and a reason and have all the gifts that we need to fulfill whatever that purpose is. That there is perfection in that. Not that we can't improve, but it's just to realize that we are valuable, each of us, and deserving of love and deserving to love ourselves, because that's the essence of the journey too, learning to love ourselves.
So the heart has gifts and treasures. If we open our heart to it, it can lead the way. It can connect us with other people and other things. It can help us forgive ourselves and forgive others and be empathetic. We can feel what others are feeling, and without getting into burnout too much, kind of empathy fatigue, and then being compassionate, knowing how we can help other people without getting lost in a lot of stress and overwhelm.
Right. Yeah, one of my favorites, which I mentioned, probably people who know me have heard this many times, but one of my favorite phrases when it comes to the heart is "judge not lest ye be judged," because it is it is in that sense of acceptance and love and connectedness that we feel with other people that we find truth. And the opposite judgment is the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
And when we judge others, also it is a reflection of how we're judging ourselves, which again points to the importance of love. Like love, to me, love is the ultimate solution for just about everything.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, the brain does figure things out, especially the left brain. The right brain seems to be more connected with the heart,
Right.
which is useful and necessary. But we can get lost in really a lot of artificial divisions and categorizing and fear, and the fear, just the survival. And I think the heart helps you survive. And of course, opening your heart makes you healthier, makes you live longer,
right.
boosts your immune system, calms your nerves.
Yeah,
So
the
you can,
statistics that are, or I guess you could say the scientific evidence of the power of the heart that is coming out now compared with when we first started, which was, there wasn't much, it's pretty amazing actually.
mm-hmm, for longevity.
Right.
I mean, because if you think of what heart attacks, for instance, which is the number one reason people die, which sooner or later does happen, but often prematurely or stressfully, is because of that stress, that chronic doing, that hustling, that perceived threats, from every direction, putting yourself in hyper mode, hypervigilance, not relaxing. So all of that is doesn't help the heart. Actually is very stressful. We need a certain amount of stress, of course, but too much of it, which is so pervasive today, is very unhealthy and destructive, as opposed to an open heart, which is actually better for being in the zone and connecting and going deeper and pausing. People are very productive and creative, do a lot of pausing and resting and integrating, research has shown. So if you can use your heart wisely, openly, you can gain the wisdom and insight and awareness
Right.
that you need.
Right. And another aspect of it is that most all of us we have fears, we have frustrations, all of those things, confusion. And in a complex society, it can seem like, well, I have no idea how to get out of this.
Mm-hmm.
On a personal level, the personal clearing and healing is an important part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, if we want to be more enlightened, it's not just a matter of inviting in the light, which is obviously a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk often on this show and in our courses and everything about angels and all of those things too, which are definitely part of it. But we can't ignore the areas the things that are blocking us. It's parts of ourselves who have been disconnected from the love that we hold in our hearts. Could say heart and soul. The soul resides in the heart, and parts of us become disconnected. So part of us might be back in our childhood where we had some trauma that we weren't able to integrate, or even in a past life somewhere. There are many, many reasons why we develop, you could say, irrational fears and a sense that we can't solve problems, feeling inadequate, all of those things. And the healing is really an important part of the journey.
Mm-hmm. That reminds me of one of the earlier healing videos we did with EFT, holistic emotional freedom techniques, with Juanita. You remember that?
Yes.
And she was very emotional from like thinking about her mother and abuse and losses. And, she was very tearful in it. But by the end of it, by doing the healing, balancing her energy system, in this case with holistic EFT tapping, she felt at peace. She felt the love. She felt neutral. She felt non-judgmental. It kind of reset. It cleansed her system and reset it.
Mm-hmm. And on a broader scale, what happens is each time we do one of those processes where we integrate back into our wholeness something that it has been misaligned, you could say, there is more of us that's available to be present. And actually, Philip and I met in a spiritual organization even before we started all of this work many years ago. And it was one where the leader had the truth, all of the truth, and all of the followers were supposed to just do what the leader said. And there was also one of the basic tenets was not to express negative emotions and be in a positive place, which I think anyone who has experienced fear or one of those things that is persistent knows. Anger, it could be frustration, it could be judgment of other people, whatever it is. There are times when you can't just think your way out of it. And we were there for actually many years, and we did learn some really valuable things. There were a lot
Yes.
of, it's not,
We're
that
still
wasn't all there
teaching some of
was
it.
to it. Yeah, we still teach from that information that we learned. But ultimately, we realized that it wasn't working for us. And we could see how a lot of people who were there, they would be stuffing their emotions and they'd be like volcanoes. And they'd try to look, well, because they were, I'm a wise spiritual person. I don't express negative emotions. And then they just completely would lose it and it'd be like a volcano going off. And there was no sense of truth or value of oneself. So we left. And it was also the kind of place where if you leave, it's like you're shunned. It's like you're a dead person. You're no longer alive. And for us, it was the best thing we could possibly do. And it really was. We were following our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Finally.
So repressing your emotions is not a way of being positive and opening your heart. It's an artificial. There's times where you have to, you can't express everything in every situation. And yes, but just as a general way of being, it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. So we learned hypnotherapy and many things. And I know that speaking with some people after that, they would be afraid to do hypnotherapy or something because they would be afraid that if they looked within, they would find something bad about themselves. And this is the illusion that we're flawed or worthless, or there's something wrong with us somehow. I'm undeserving. I'm not as good as everybody else. That's the illusion. And what we discover actually when we are able to clear things is we're magnificent. Each and every one, no need to compete with each other because we're all unique and we're here for different reasons. There is no need to compete. And I think life just becomes easier and easier. And of course, all of that clearing away all of those are stressors. When you clear away the stressors, it's good for your health and opening your heart. As Philip mentioned, it even has been shown to increase longevity. It's just incredible, the benefits. And there is, from my perspective, no downside.
Yeah, I mean, ask yourself a question. If anyone listening, I mean, would you have more energy if you were angry and you tried to stuff it and not be angry, or sad and not be sad? Would that give you more energy or less energy? Would that make you more comfortable or uncomfortable? And what would that mean over time if you kept doing that? And that's how illnesses and diseases and injuries occur.
Right. Yeah. Another way that we've come to look at things, because we also approach a lot of related subjects that are spiritual, just about loving and valuing yourself, connecting with your heart, opening your intuition, understanding your purpose, so many different aspects of it. And we've taken a lot of courses and programs too. And I think, like many people, we've found sometimes they're not really quite what we were hoping for. In fact, when we left that organization and went off kind of into the wilderness on our own, it actually took us 4 years, I think, to find what we would call the ultimate solution, which is connecting with the love in your heart And it's so simple. But the ultimate solution there is also the ultimate solution for humanity as a whole. So by any progress that any of us make with opening to who we are and clearing things that are not us and being more sources of love and light, the more we do that, the better it is for the whole planet. Because then that vibration is getting out there more.
So the more you can open your heart, plug into it, to use another term,
Right.
it will eventually, the idea is create a critical mass where things, enough people, and it doesn't need to be seemingly a lot of people, according to studies, how it works in science or journalism, something to go viral in a positive way. When enough people have opened their hearts, that's going to have a major impact on society. And hopefully it's happening now, and it's exposing a lot of the negativity, especially with all the technology and media and internet access we all have to each other. It's becoming real evident, the problems and the good part, and the good too.
Mm-hmm. Now, Barbara made another comment. She said, an open heart allows us to see our connection with others and source. And thus, like you said, there is no need to compare. Right. And that is such a relief. You know, whatever we've learned about, well, I'm not this enough or that enough for to be successful or to be valued. I'm not tall enough. I'm not short enough. I'm not educated enough. I'm too young. I'm too old. Whatever it is, there are those stories we tell ourselves. You can just let them go and say, I'm here. I'm doing what I'm here for. And I'm feeling good today.
And just use others to inspire you, not to compare yourself and belittle yourself.
Right. And of course, then others become, it's like they're a compliment, not a compliment, meaning that they make things better. They make life better. It's not that, well, Philip and I are married. We've been married actually for more than 40 years now, which is pretty incredible. And we complement each other. We're together because we enhance each other's lives, not because we're needy, because each of us, we're free to be who we are. And I think that's another thing to think about when you think about the heart and you think about love. You know, love, I love the phrase also, love is not love which alters. I think it's Shakespeare. Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds.
It's never fixed mark.
Right.
Shakespeare sonnet.
It is. But it's so true and so beautiful. You know, that love in a real sense, you could say divine love or unconditional love, however you want to describe it. It is pure and it is consistent. So do you want to talk a little bit about the process that we're going to do?
Yes, we have a process we developed called the heart focus process, timely. And it's a very simple process, which I think you'll really enjoy if you do this along with us, assuming you can kind of close your eyes and focus for a few minutes. It's short. And the idea is to connect with your heart as maybe an image, as a Valentine. If you're not good at imaging, just visualizing, just sense it as a Valentine, like a little picture.
Or ask yourself what it would be if you could see it. That's interesting.
That's another way to access.
What would it look like? I can't see it, but what would it look like if I could see it?
If I could see it. And then you just start to examine this heart that has come to mind, which is really a version of your heart in some sense. And then we're not talking about anatomical things here. So if something, if there is a challenge coming up with this image of your heart, which can be healed, as we said, that's good to know about because it's there, but it doesn't necessarily mean there's a physical condition or not. So just so that's a distinction. And so when you're picturing this Valentine type heart image in the process we're going to do, notice the color, what its shape is, if anything is unusual about it. Maybe there's a sound connected with it.
And what
or
it feels like
a
emotionally.
feeling. What
Yeah.
does it feel like? Its shape, anything else you might be aware of. So you just take that into, and some people will see a pretty wonderful heart, and there may just be a little something around the edge or a little crack or a little irregularity. And that's something to be aware of, and just breathing in some love and light to heal that. There's different ways to do that. Some people will be in a pretty good shape position, and it seems quite good at this moment, because we do change from time to time, and you may be in a positive period in your life and momentum too.
So whatever it is, it can show, it can have you could say this is a way for your heart to communicate with you what it wants you to see today. And there
Yes.
could be, who knows what you might see. It's a matter of being open and just trusting what it is that you perceive.
You'll find out. So shall we explore the heart focus, the
Yeah,
process
why
here
don't we do
just
that?
briefly?
I think I'll see if I can put Buddy down.
Okay. And
He
as
may
you
not
make any
agree.
adjustments, any of you listening or watching,
Okay.
and you, if you want, you can close your eyes. Sometimes that helps people relax and go deeper into the process, and just allowing your body to relax as you take some breaths gently through your nose and exhaling slowly and easily. And as these breaths help you relax more and more, you notice the fresh air coming in through your nose and circulating your body, calming, relaxing, letting go. Exhaling, inhaling pure, clear energy through the nose, slowly exhaling what you no longer need. And just allow these breaths to help you have an image or a sense of a heart image, or it could be like a Valentine image, like a little picture, a little card. And it may be coming into your mind quite clearly now, or may be beginning to form. And as it's beginning to take shape, notice what shape it is. Notice what it looks like. Get a sense of it. What's the emotion that you're feeling? What kind of feeling is that heart giving you? Is there a sound to it? Is there anything around the edges of the heart, or the color of it? Just kind of take a few notes, let it come to mind. It might be coming to mind, and you may be getting more clarity now as you get more awareness. And we can do some EFT tapping just to balance ourselves if we're feeling good, or just if something needs to be released to help your heart become healthier, more whole and loving. And you can just do some holistic EFT tapping. That means tapping the top of your head lightly with your hands, or just touching it. And you can tap or touch your eyebrow by the nose. Breathe some loving energy, and tap or touch the side of the eyes, and tap or touch the under the eye, the bone there, and then tap or touch under the nose. Breathing good. And then tap or touch your chin, and tap or touch your collarbone, the ridge of your collarbone, either or both sides, and tap or touch under your arms like you're embracing yourself. And then the reset process, where simply you tap across the top of your head, and you can say anything is possible, kind of opening up your heart here. And
This actually opens the mind too. Anything is possible.
And balances the left and right brain. Miracles are happening now. And a breath through your nose again, and exhaling. And the last part is tapping or touching across your heart to integrate into your heart more love and healing and wholeness from source, and oneness, and all your support team, angels, guides, soulful, higher self awareness and love. Bringing it into your heart, knowing that anything is possible and miracles are happening now. And one more breath, and exhaling. Noticing that your feet are on the ground. I'll count back to 5. knowing that any more integration will still occur afterwards in the right time for you. 1, coming back. 2, knowing you can return to this at any time. 3, removing anything you don't want. 4, coming back refreshed and returning now on 5, opening your eyes, relaxed, refreshed, energized with a more open, loving heart.
Thank you, Philip. That was really great. I loved that. Buddy got a little reset too.
Yeah, Buddy's heart opened a bit too.
Huh? Did you get a reset? He did.
Good. So that's the heart focus. That's one of the processes we teach in our upcoming coaching and healing program beginning June 14th, coming here too. These kind of processes, it's good to learn them, especially if you're into coaching and healing, and you'll have them for a lifetime.
Right. Doing that just now, something happened to me that has never happened before. Of course, we've been doing this for decades, and it's interesting because I never thought of it, but I just focusing on it as a Valentine. When I saw it, then it opened up and there was a message inside the Valentine for me. And it actually was a beautiful red heart. And I felt that the angels were connecting with me. And of course, all of those beautiful beings of light who connect with us from the higher realms, they're connecting with us through our hearts, through the love we hold in our hearts. And so it was a heart to put into my heart. So it's love from them to me.
Heart to heart message.
Right. And saying you are wonderful, just to, again, connecting also with those higher beings like the angels and the ascended masters and our own guardian angels, spirit guides, whoever it is you connect with. There is so much love. To me, the sense that I have of it is that there's more love than we can even hold. And it is so connecting, just asking for their presence and for them to send love to us is so valuable. Do you want me to draw a card about,
sure, oracle card? The wisdom of the heart. That's another nice phrase. You got a message from the wisdom of the heart. I guess we'll close. We'll have one more heart message.
Well, would you like to share? I don't know if you were just guiding or if you got any insights from the process.
I think it was I don't know if I didn't spend time getting messages. I was just kind of trying to be a vehicle to do the thing. So I wasn't focusing on messages. I was just trying to do the process to lead people through it.
Okay. So I'm trying to decide which way to go. Yeah. Okay. Well, I've got it.
Okay, if you've got it, because I could give a quick message from the heart. Yeah.
Well, you can do one maybe too.
Do it as we're kind of.
I'll do one.
As Jane's getting ready, I'm going to give you a message from the
Philip,
heart.
I'm doing it.
Oh, you're doing it. Go for it. Okay.
Here we go. I have to shuffle.
Some people go to Vegas. We go to the celestial realms to do our cards.
Right. Okay, here it comes. This is called the Work Your Light Oracle. And I'm laughing because it says, and the question or the inquiry is, what do you want to say about connecting with the heart? And the card says, just say yes.
Sounds like a good message. Easy to remember.
Right. And there is this one. Yes, there is. It has a little book. Oh, and the message under just say yes. This is the message, if you can see it. Just, yes, 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 yes.
In case you missed it the first time.
Right. Barbara says yes too. I think that's hilarious. Don't you think that's funny? Well, and it's so simple. I appreciate the simplicity of it. And there's a sense of humor in it too. So did you want to share a message from the heart?
Oh, okay. I was just going to, we went before, taking a time, but to provide that, sure, I can do that.
It's hilarious. I just find that funny.
Yes, I'm trying
Laughter
to get a message.
is good for you too.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a message from my heart. Well, maybe it'll just be laughter. We'll call it that. Yeah. We'll say
wait,
that's
I'll
the message.
stop. I just think I can't get over that book. Okay, here. Okay.
That's fine. I think
No,
that.
go ahead.
Well, the message from the heart today is, as you open your heart, you allow more love into it for you and everyone else. And it's there for the taking, for the serving, for the giving and receiving. And it is very easy to receive and easy to give if you let yourself do so.
It's a simple question and answer too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is really, to me, very profound. Just say yes. And it goes back, there's that idea, the ultimate solution, to identify the
Mm-hmm.
ultimate. And of course, when you look at society,
Mm-hmm.
How can we solve all of these problems? We have war, we have poverty, we have all of these horrendous things that are happening. People are cruel to each other, different people of different origins and religions can't agree, and all of those things. So if you're looking for the ultimate solution, first you need to identify what the primary cause of the problem is. And of course, it is like just being stuck. We call it stuck in the mud. You're stuck in the mud, disconnected from the truth in your heart. That's the problem. So the solution then is very simple, is that you connect with that love in your heart. And we do it we have a what process we call heart centering or soul centering. And we've been doing that ourselves for decades. When I first did it, it completely changed things for me. And now I'm just so grateful for everything that has been given to me from that. But then if you look at, okay, so what is the way? Just say yes.
Barbara Clark is saying, say yes to heart and source. Yeah. To the heart and source. So that could be a good bumper sticker. Just say yes to love. Say yes to peace. Say yes to love.
Yeah. I'm going to write that down. That's it. So I don't forget.
Could be meditation next time coming up.
I'll have to tell Lula about this. She's the one. She recommended this deck of cards to me, and it's very spiritually oriented for those who are that way. Mm-hmm. Every time I've drawn cards from this deck of cards, it has been really profound.
What's the name of the deck?
Work Your Light. Mm-hmm. From Campbell. Rebecca Campbell.
Okay.
A good investment, I think, in my opinion. But I think I feel that Barbara mentioned saying yes to the heart and source. I feel that there is so much love coming to us in this moment from God, from all of the angels and guides and beings of light who are supporting us. And it always is there. It's just we need to say yes to it. We need to put ourselves in a position where we can perceive it, which is really going in our own consciousness to that more loving space, because that's how they communicate to us, through love, through our hearts. And if you're feeling unsupported, it's a beautiful opportunity to connect with those beings who love us so much and just want us to ask for them to support us. We get some support just because they're there to guide us, but there's more support if we ask.
Yeah, that's how that tipping point comes for the world in general too.
Right. So toward the end, and it seems like we've covered most everything, the just say yes made it easy. But it's really then about the focus. And I often get out my little globe and just imagine a more loving world. You know, a more loving world where there could be no war because everybody loves each other. How could anybody hurt another person? There could be no poverty because we'd all care for each other. The environment would benefit, all of the little beings and plants and animals and the ocean on land would all benefit because we love them too. I think that also my personal belief is that as we lift our own vibration collectively, solutions will emerge, like to pollution and things that we cannot see when we're kind of down in the dumps with it. As we rise up, then those things are going to solve themselves too. And of course, maybe we just won't be polluters. That's another possibility.
That would be nice. Doesn't seem to go with the vibration of love very well.
Right. So if you have any doubts that you matter or what you do matters, or if your contribution of love matters, it does. It matters. It all matters. I think the Work Your Light Oracle, it says, say yes to that too. Yes, it does matter. And you do matter. So I think that is the message for today. And again, the reason we're so grateful for you is because we need as much love as we can get on this planet right now.
We do.
And as we just send it out, you can imagine it. You could just sit and surround yourself with love and send it out to your community. Actually, you don't even have to send it out. If you want to just be it and imagine yourself broadcasting it. You could kind of think of yourself also as a lighthouse and just broadcasting out into the stratosphere. So the whole world is becoming lighter and lighter every day as more and more of us do this. And then we benefit personally. I mean, it's just, how can you lose, really?
It's a win-win.
Right. So, Phillip, would you like to share a little bit more about what's happening right now at Awakenings Institute?
Right. We have an upcoming Coach and Healing Live program with Jane and myself, certification in coaching, healing, EFT, and more. There's a tiny URL to get there to check it out starting June 14th. The program's still the small group which we teach, and people have a lot of ahas and a lot of transformations and opening of their heart and doing processes like the one we did today, the heart focus. The tiny URL to find the course is tinyurl.com/HOL coach, tinyurl.com/HOL coach. And if that is drawing you in, we'd love to have you join us. It's an extraordinary journey to spend some time, a full program of learning.
Yeah, that really changes lives in a big way.
Massive changes and shifts. People love that program.
Yeah. And Buddy also says, love dogs. They love you.
Yes, dogs
we have
are another
these
part of it.
Little exemplary beings around us. He says, thank you so much.
The good models of open hearts.
Right. And you can find out more about the Circle of Love and Light at circleofloveandlight.org. And there are some free gifts for you there.
Yes.
You can also support the Circle by liking our page on Facebook at facebook.com/awakeningscircle. You can share this video with your friends on Facebook if you're on Facebook, and that's a way to directly get the message out. And we certainly appreciate that. And you can invite your friends to join you in the Circle and share with each other the insights that you gain from it and the love. So thank you for being with us. The last thing usually that we do is imagine sending that love and light through time into your future and fill your whole week with it. You can just imagine, you can send it with the beautiful pink color, rainbow color, sparkles, whatever, whatever appeals to you. And then when you think of it during the week, you can imagine them again. Like that, I love rainbows of color with sparkles in it. And every time I think of that, it makes me feel really good. So I say yes to that too.
Sounds good.
So have a wonderful week, everyone.